Where your treasure is, there will your heart be also. God has given us unlimited treasures in His Word. Every time we open it, we can discover a new treasure or admire an old one. What will we find today? Let's dig in. Here's Carla Early with Treasure Hunt in the Word.
I'm sure, like me, many of you watched the movie The Hiding Place back in the 1970s, or read the book. It's about a godly Christian family who hid Jews in their home when the Nazi regime were intent on killing them. That was neither the first time nor the last when Satan used specific people like Hitler to try to snuff out God's promises to His people. Today, I want to look at one of those people, a woman whom you probably never heard of, Athaliah. Now, before we go any farther, let me just apologize for the lack of creativity that biblical royal families had in naming their children. Apparently, the rule there for several generations was that the names had to start with an A or a J, and they had to be hard to pronounce. So keeping them straight was a bit tricky. Just telling you that Athaliah was the daughter of Ahab and Jezebel should give you a clue as to how evil she was. While ungodly, Baal-worshipping King Ahab ruled the northern kingdom of Israel, godly King Jehoshaphat ruled the southern kingdom of Judah. Why Jehoshaphat would ever think that marrying his son Jehoram to that wicked couple's daughter Athaliah was a good idea, I will never know. But when Jehoshaphat died, Jehoram became king of Judah, with Queen Athaliah being the wicked advisor behind the throne. Jehoram ruled 7 years before he died, and his son Ahaziah became king, with his mother once again being the bad influencer behind the throne. He didn't even last a whole year before he died, and Athaliah took over as ruler. Instead of being the power behind the throne, Athaliah decided that she would be the power. So first thing she did was to destroy the rest of the royal family, any male who might have claims to the throne. And that included her own children and grandchildren. Now, some words come to mind when you think of someone who's willing to do that. Focused, selfish, determined, power-hungry, and downright crazy. So this was the woman who was ruling Judah, leading the people to worship Baal. What she didn't know was that someone had rescued one of her grandsons, baby Joash, and hid him for 6 years in the temple while his grandma ruled the land. On the 7th year, Jehoiada, the priest, gathered all the Levites around for protection and crowned Joash king. When Athaliah arrived to protest, he had her executed. Then Jehoiada, being the main influencer behind the throne, led Joash to do what was right in the eyes of the Lord, including repairing the temple and leading the people back to worshiping the Lord. Now, this story might be overlooked, except for one thing. God keeps His promises. Satan couldn't wipe out David's line by using Athaliah any more than Haman could destroy the Jews in Esther's day, or Hitler could exterminate all the Jews in the 1940s. Because God always fulfills His promises. And God promised David that he would always have a descendant on the throne. And that particular line of David had the right to reign and went all the way down to Joseph, so that Jesus, as Joseph's adopted son, would inherit the right to be king of the Jews. As Psalm 33:11 says, "The counsel of the Lord stands forever, the plans of His heart to all generations." Neither Satan nor Athaliah could mess that up. Athaliah can also teach us that having worldly power, authority, success, money, or anything else is fleeting. In one moment, it can all come crashing down because it's always God that's in control, and He will only let unrighteous people go so far. We see that in the lives of the 2 other examples I gave earlier, Haman and Hitler too. So when we see ungodly people in places of power, we know it's not permanent. We can always trust God's promises and know for certain that He is in control.
You can contact us at treasurehuntintheword@gmail.com. We'd love to hear the treasures God has given you through His Word. You can listen to other episodes at our website, which you can find in the description below. Thanks for listening, and remember, where your treasure is, there will your heart be also.